Hey guys, JR here for Lawrence Group, and we are here in my bedroom right now, just sitting here. Oh, I also have a pillow. It's medium sized and stuff. And then we have the hot dog shape. And also I have a little bear here. It's just a little bear. Bears. Bears have lived for 20 million years now and have survived all kinds of traumatic changes in Earth's history. Climate change and topographical changes on Earth led to some of their species branching out 23 million years ago. From the bamboo-eating pandas to the cold-hearted polar bears of the Arctic, we've seen a lot of things that we may say could be drastic for a species. That is the magic of speciation.
Speciation is the evolutionary process by which populations evolve to become distinct species. The biologist Orator F. Cook coined the term in 1906, the cladogenesis, the splitting of lineages as opposed to anagenesis, phyletic evolution within lineages. Charles Darwin was the first to describe the roles of natural selection in his Speciation in his 1859 book, The Origin of Species.
Why are the animals in Australia so unique? We've got the kangaroo and wallaby, marsupials that carry their young in a handy pouch, the cute but lazy koala, and the weirdest of all, a beaked egg-laying mammal called the duck-billed platypus. In this video, you will learn how these weird and wonderful animals are formed in the process of speciation. Speciation is the formation of a new and distinct species in the course of evolution. Many millions of years ago, the continents that we know today were all joined together in one supercontinent known as Pangaea. Over several hundred million years, these continents slowly drifted apart from each other. When Australia finally separated from the other continents as animals and plants were cut off from those on other landmasses, this isolation is the first step in the formation of new species. It splits the species in two different gene pools. As the animals and plant groups on the Australian continent drifted away from their relations, they became isolated from other populations of their species because the sea acted as a barrier. Each gene pool was now exposed to different conditions like climate, food, and competition. This is the second step in speciation. Some animals and plants that were not well adapted to the new conditions died, whereas those that were best adapted survived to the process of natural selection. The gene pool changed and the organisms became more and more different from those left behind. This is the third step in speciation. Eventually, these differences became so great that isolated populations are unable to interbreed and a new species is formed. This is the final step in speciation. There are many other examples, the lemurs and baobab trees in Madagascar that became isolated from continent Africa. All the famous giant turtles and unique flightless cormorants of the Galapagos Islands that were isolated from South America. Their ancestors arrived either by flight, swimming, or on natural rafts. From the nearest mainland, some of the species presented here are highly specialized. Their environment changes due to human and natural influence. They may become extinct like the Tasmanian tiger, a striped dog-like animal which became extinct when humans entered its habitat and started overhunting it. These are examples of speciations happening because of physical barriers. Members of the same species can also be separated due to biological or behavioral barriers. Birds of the same species but living in slightly different areas may over time develop different mating rituals or different mating songs, and so the females are only attracted to rituals of the males from their area. Similarly, species living in different areas may face different climates or different food pressures, and so their mating seasons may end up being out of sync with other members of their species. This happened to species of toad in North America over time. Both of these resulted in speciation and are known as reproductive isolation. So remember, the amazing variety of flora and fauna that we have in our world is due to the process of speciation, the formation of a new and distinct species in the course of evolution.
There are 4 geographic modes of speciation in nature. based on the extent to which speciation populations are isolated from one another. allopatric, peripatric, parapatric, and sympatric. Speciation may also be induced artificially through animal husbandry, agriculture, or laboratory experiments. Whether genetic drift is a minor or major contributor to speciation is the subject matter of much ongoing discussion.
There are 5 different types of speciation, in total which are closely related to one another. But the most common and probably the main type of speciation is allopatric. It states that speciation occurs once a certain species become isolated from one another due to physical and geographical boundaries. Once they are separated, they adapt to their own separate environment with its very own living conditions. Here is a video showing a clearer view in allopatric speciation.
Here on a small planet, not unlike our own, live a race of creatures called lumpties. For millennia, they lived, worked, and played and had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, due to a galactic accident, their world changed considerably. The land masses drifted apart, some to the frozen north, and some to the warmer south. The northern landmass became very cold over time, while the southern one became very warm indeed. The race of lumpties was split into 2 groups, each inhabiting their own unique landmass, and so they became isolated from each other. Look at what happened to the tribes of lumpties as their environments changed. Each group of lumpties have adapted over many generations to suit the environment in which they live. This is called adaptive radiation. How will this change of environment affect their appearance, and why have these changes taken place? Over time, the lumpties changed so much that they finally became a new species. This is called allopatric speciation. There are thousands of species scattered throughout the world, created through speciation. Although very diverse and almost countless, we humans should always be responsible with our actions. Thousands of lives, including animals, are slowly dying. Speciation may help in increasing the population and amount of species, but that process itself is not enough due to the rapid rate of increased harshness in our environment. Animals can no longer survive because of our inhuman acts. Therefore, we must make a change, be wary of our actions, and learn to appreciate the diverse nature that the Creator has bestowed upon us.